Today, I am going to be reacting to Squid Game. This was one of Netflix's most popular and watched shows, and season 2 is going to be coming out shortly. But this clip is going to be from an episode of season 1. But you guys, this became Netflix's most watched series and the most watched program in 94 countries, attracting more than 142 million member households and 1.65 billion viewing hours in its first 4 weeks, surpassing Bridgerton as the service's most watched show. What? That is crazy. Let's take a look at this scene and find out what it is about this show that makes it so popular. Stick around. So what is it that makes one show okay and another show wildly, explosively popular? Where everybody gets in on that, everybody loves it. Let's check it out. Okay, so I'll pause here real quick. So in any story, struggle is incredibly important. In fact, this is why sports, outside of any narrative project, is some of the most watched, televised programming in existence. Why? Because the struggle is so real and raw every game, right? It's right in your face, and it's intense, and it's a fight. And then what you also get is, in sports, that you have your team. You know, the one that you're rooting for in that battle, in that struggle. Who are you siding with? Your team is the good guy, and their team is the bad guy, and you are fighting for yours to win. This is why sports is so powerful, why so many people watch it, and why there are so many millions and billions and trillions of dollars behind this, and why people will watch it forever. Now, we try to take that model and in our narrative world of storytelling, get some of those elements in here. This is one of the reasons why Squid Games is so popular, because you have all of those elements crammed into a show. I always say with my actors, when they are doing their work, it is never a mid-season game. It is always the Super Bowl. Why? Because the stakes can't get any higher, which means that the fight isn't going to be any greater and the struggle isn't going to be more intense. That's what we're going to do. That's the structure that they have created in Squid Games. And you can see here, that's all materializing in an actual game within the show, where we can see them literally fighting for their lives. Move up or you'll die. That's it. The stakes do not get any higher than that, do they? So we are on the edge of our seats, and if the actors are able to bring us there, then all of a sudden we can accept this reality and we can be right there with them. With bad acting, it distances us, and in fact, we can lose interest. If we don't feel like there's something actually at stake in this performance for these characters, we actually don't care about it. But when it feels like the characters are invested and they are really fighting for their lives, for their families, for their future, then we're going to be rooting for them. And just like in sports, you can see all the parallels take place here. One thing that just popped into my head here is just the sound design behind this. They've got these chains, you know, and so when you think about like storytelling and creating this suspense and the atmosphere of a scene, you know, the filmmakers aren't only thinking about like the actor selling it, but also the visuals, like what's uncomfortable to watch. How do you show the danger? in this space in between these two, and that we could, fall in that. How do you do it with sound design? And that's where this chain really stands out to me. And you could imagine watching this scene without hearing that chain and think, oh, it might actually be missing something. That is really an uncomfortable sound that just doesn't stop and it keeps going. But this is how, filmmakers craft something to get an audience to feel a certain way. You are on the journey. You are in the seat on this ride that they have created for you. I like that slow-mo shot that they get into at the end as you just see these like strokes one after the next to pull this in, but it allows you to really slow that time and kind of zero in on the intensity of these characters in this story as they fight and they go into slow motion and kind of build to whatever that climax is going to be here. I think you see all the actors are very engaged with this. And they're in it. The other thing that we don't necessarily get to see in this particular scene, but that's going to be in their individual stories, which get to roll out, and that is where the audience gets to learn about them. And when you learn about these characters, you start to care about their journey and their story, and then you start to root for them. And you want them to survive, just like you want your sports team to survive, just like you want to see them be victorious. And as you learn more about the players and the team and their struggles and what happened to them last year and why they're there and them overcoming those obstacles to get there, and even their own, like their own flaws, they're eventually going to have to get to a point where they each have to kind of face their own fears and their own flaws to overcome obstacles to get to where they want to be. The show has almost the perfect structure for storytelling, for struggle, for fight, in the most extraordinary of ways, which is survival, which is for family, which is for whatever they have built underneath each one of these character storylines. And so we're definitely living in the Super Bowl of games in Squid Games. They really have a very nice structure, which is rich and ripe for drama and everything that we love about narrative storytelling. That is why Squid Games is an excellent series. That is why it is so popular. And that is why so many people are waiting for season 2 to come out. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.